And so we begin our long journey further east. I might be breaking my rule a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. But both of our currently active side factions are over there. So, I guess maybe breaking my rule would be whether or not the main story could be proceeded with without going further east, I guess. By the way, doesn't this place scream level 1 starting town? Oh, fuck. Usually, like, the starting area is the most, like, pristine and colorful, and this place is, like, so chill looking. I know, I'm being chased by wolves and stuff, so it's funny now, but like, that town looks like, it looks so, like, generic fantasy, happy starting town for the hero that hasn't been called on his journey yet, that gets exploded, probably, in the intro. That it looks like a fucking, like, it looks like a phone game or something. Like, it looks like so, like, oversaturated and overly, like, beautiful. Like, this is the pretty starting point. Oh my god, they're still coming? Are these the same guys? Probably not. Maybe not. Pew! I guess they just build the tougher wolves on this side of town. Because the ones I was fighting at the beginning probably would have been instant killed in this sitch. 90% success rate. Failed. That's just how it be do sometimes. Kind of rude, but okay. Was it? Yeah.
They were the harbingers of the fall, these children of dust. And they lit the forest with their fires, and then split it with their blades. We crept back, shapeless in the darkness, silent in the trees. The shadows are few in this age of mortals. The light beckons.
I was off doing a brief detour for the sake of a little XP. But yeah, I'm surprised that the further I go, the more bright things are getting. Well, really, it is a pretty saturated game, isn't it? Let's see. Alright, yeah. I was doing the Mage quest, but I did just trigger the fast travel point for that. Look at that element. Original horizontality. It'd probably be nuts to try to draw a geologic map of this area, but it is fun to see people recreate these images even if they maybe don't know why they're doing it. But when you see these big things like this where it's all sticking off at an angle and like all the lines are parallel with each other, it's because of the fact that generally all geology is distributed or deposited horizontally. So it's all going to be parallel and matching each other. And then if it's off at an angle, that means that it changed angle afterwards via faults and whatnot. How are all of them knocked over? Like, I guess everybody was murdered, but this does seem pretty specifically spiteful to knock every single cart exactly on its side. It's of course because that's like the one asset they have, but still, like, holy crap, man. I bet I can find I bet one of these chakrams is going to be an upgrade. That'll be nice. Almost every RPG I play has, frankly, too much loot. Just more than any game needs. I remember all the way back when I played the first Borderlands saying, like, you know what these games need? A loot slider for people like me that are numb to this shit at some point, where it's like, can I have a slider where you just auto-convert like 80% of the loot into money, and I just don't have to deal with it as being a bunch of items all the time? Doop. Or like fewer, higher quality loot items. But then they'd be like, oh fuck, but that's what every single person wants. This doesn't work. So this is a higher quality color item of rarity, but it seems, and it's the same level requirement, but it seems weaker. This does 12 piercing damage, this one does 8% damage versus humans. I don't think that percent, we're not dealing with triple digits yet, so any percentage of increased damage is weaker than just flat damage of the same number. So, like, Not the best loot generating there. But this one has a bonus slot and already does more damage. It's pretty, and it gets the bonus from my fire bonuses, I think, which means it should do even more damage. God damn. Unfortunately, I can't socket things, huh? That's annoying. Let's see, should I just like, so if I'm gonna quit on this, like, should I get rid of this? Well, I can't sell them anyway because they're stolen. That's how that do. Anyway, now I've got a weapon I can socket into, so that's good. I can use some of those sockets I have once I get to a place that lets me do that, because I gotta think about that now. Yes, I'm using this bow because it gives me 30 health and mana, so this is weaker for that purpose. Alright.
Pyroclastic resonance, body temperatures still well above ambient, and freshly broken earth. Ah, forgive my manners. You were sent to meet a contact, and here I am, Jubal Calidus, Arch-Sage of the Scholia Arcana. If you would be so kind as to ready your weapons, I believe we are about to be attacked. You will be in my thoughts.
Hi. Oh, more of them. Oh, that's bad news for you guys. My thing's ready. Honestly, the triggers notification tutorial is useful for this particular mechanic, because I constantly forget to even look at the meter. It is like an incredibly occasional mechanic. Not fast enough. Wow, wow.
That was bracing, wasn't it? Ethan did not exaggerate your prowess, but it was a pity what happened to this caravan. I followed their trail from Melaglir in the hope that they carried a letter from the missing Adept Fell, and indeed I was correct. I believe this should go to you. The message names a likely suspect. Continue onward then, to Melaglir. Speak to this Patrick Morkan, and find what befell our missing colleague.
What will you be doing?
I am not accustomed to being questioned by anyone, even newcomers as promising as you. See to your task, neophyte, and remember, whatever attacked Adept Fell is not to be underestimated. You will be in my thoughts.
Oh man, you gotta love it when a mage guild is like, shut up and stop asking questions, just do what you're told. This isn't like a... What do you think, a mage guild is some kind of like intellectual organization to join? No. Only follow commands. Fuck, he wants me to go even deeper. Alright. I'm breaking my rules a bit here, but let's pursue. I do like the idea of finishing whatever the mage guild stuff is, because, you know, it'd be cool to have related rewards. Oh! Jeez! That was well aimed, I guess. Rude. Going on a bit of a hike. Ooh, is that an armored ogre? It might be a different enemy type, but he looks like he probably uses the same moveset as the other ogre-y dudes. Dudes around. Everyone's having a bad time. Everyone's under attack. Bad news all around. When do I get a horse? These maps are open enough because it does feel very MMO-y. That's what they were building towards. But I think the specifics are that this wasn't necessarily a scrapped MMO so much as it was the prequel leading to a future MMO, but it might have shared certain design sensibilities that the MMO was going to have, which is probably not the best, honestly. Single-player RPGs actually shouldn't play that similarly to MMOs. There's some pretty big differences there. It's why I keep hoping, even not hoping is not the right word for it, I keep wishing they would, despite all the evidence that it would never happen. I keep hoping that they'll like release the Old Republic as a single-player RPG, just because I'm like, but that hurts a little bit. as somebody who grew up liking KOTOR, and it was like my introduction to RPGs, basically, the fact that the third KOTOR game, although they're making a third one now, aren't they? Wait, no, wait, were they making a third one? No, they're remaking the first one, aren't they? It definitely, like, I definitely find myself thinking, like, that's a lot of stories. Like that's, there's like 4 playable classes on 2 teams, and and they all have, so there's 8 playable classes total. Each one has their own separate, like, single player-ish storyline spread out over the course of the world, and the shared storyline of the world that the game has. Like, it's probably not amazing necessarily, but like, it's rough as what was a BioWare fan up to that point, and still was for a bit after then, and, you know, we'll see how things go going forward. That game came out in the height of me being a BioWare fan, and me not getting to experience what are essentially 8 supposed BioWare style stories, because they're stretched over an MMO, was like, it's rough.
From the dark of north he came, sword alight with frosted blood, to starkly carve a kingdom from a land of stone and flood. A hero true, a warrior born, his deeds the bards did daily sing. Exultingly they crowned him king.
It's probably not it probably was never real BioWare, but it's another one of the spin-offs that they called BioWare. But people keep saying that some of the storylines are really good, but that said, they say that about a lot of games that I don't like, so people say is a difficult moniker to go by. Moniker's not the right word. That's not the right guiding light.
The Lord of Tides, the thrice-crowned king, the bandit prince of Melaglir. He forged from blood a sword of sin to cut and rend and sear. From hardened hearts his people wept, tears to flood from stone unbroken, the long-forgotten truth unspoken.
I don't absorb as much from these as they might want me to. Nope. Okay, I guess I'm not using that gem forage. They don't want me in there. On one hand, I'm often not great at poetry and, like, reading it the first time the right way, but then it's like, oh, but it's fantasy poetry, so it's full of, like, a bunch of, like, proper nouns and, like, made up things, so it's like, it doesn't usually just kind of like, it's like water off a duck's back. It's like, yep, those were some words that rhymed.
Hello there.
Patrick Morkan. Oh, that was your house back there.
On a darkling wind she rose, gripped within impassioned throes, and I, her chosen witness proud, did fall beneath her endless shroud. Something about you reminded me of a verse. Of course, the poet was discussing death. I am Patrick Morkan. How may I be of assistance?
Oh yeah, death. I bring that all over the place. I'm great at that.
That is why you are here, no? Death has come to Melaglir, and you are but a step behind her. Pardon me. Grief tends to push me toward theatrics. You see, my wife was among the first of our villagers to disappear. But we are a private people, and we prefer to keep our dead exactly where they lie, good and buried. I will speak no more of it.
Have you seen the Caravelle?
Ah, her. A particularly belligerent woman, if I recall. I believe she left our village recently for parts unknown. Master Dace made quite the fuss. Apparently, she left her possessions in a footlocker in her room. I suppose she left in a hurry.
Where do you think Lakara went?
Me? How would I possibly know?
Thanks for your help, bro. So good of you to stop by. Bringer of death or whatever I said earlier seems kind of morbid. Probably bad news for everyone. Pleasure to see you. When you're spouting niceties on autopilot. She's got a journal and potions. Master healing potion. The Journal of Lakara fell. This cursed village is so caught up in the Tuatha at their door, they have become blind to the monster within their midst. An entire family has been slaughtered, several more individuals gone missing, and untold travelers pulled from the roads, and they do nothing. Attempted to gain an audience with Lord Kandrin today, again, was refused at the gate again. Idiots. This case continues to surprise. No clue is consistent. Some of the wounds appear to be from tooth or claw, but blood spray on the walls of the victim's home could have been made from a large blade, such as a greatsword. Numerous individuals have gone missing, but only 2 corpses have ever been found. Where are the others? Patrick Morkan knows more than he is telling. If I can just get into his basement, perhaps I can uncover something more. At least the innkeeper, Master Dace, has been helpful in providing me some of the supplies and directions regarding the local area. A place he mentioned to me over dinner tonight, the Cave of Tulan. I think I'll search there tomorrow. It might be connected to an old network of passageways that lead underneath the town. Perhaps I'll find evidence of whatever is taking these villagers there. Well, the person I was just talking to is one of the people that they were investigating moments ago. I'm gonna stop talking to him. She was interested in a cave and interested in this guy's house. And so is why this thing is locked, apparently. Nobody knows my trespass, please. Hope he doesn't come home. Look at the funny skeleton. Oh. Yep. Let's use the altar. Socket gems. There they are. A gem of light. 10% damage during daytime is like fine, but more fire damage would be nice. So let's see if I can figure out how to craft a weapon gem. Let's see, I guess the best quality fire gems I can have. Lambent fire shard. Lambent fire shard. More damage of both fire types. Seems worth it. Obviously, not that. Oh. Where is it? Ooh, mana steel. Socket into a weapon socket to increase that weapon's effectiveness. Is it the shapes? That one has a diamondy one and a boxy one. Boxy and diamondy. Really? So it has to be a boxy gem. This seems a tad convoluted, but okay. Are those the silk robes I'm wearing right now? No. No, yes, yes. I have 3 slots on these things. Bleeding resistant, fire resist. I mean, bonus damage during daytime is fine for a slot. Okay, craft armor gems. Elemental resist. Ice resist. Not bad for armor. More armor. So yellow and green makes stronger armor. Hmm. Physical resistance. Getting a few versions down. Alright, so I need to figure out how to make... It had to be a square gem, right? This makes a diamond gem. A mana steel wouldn't be the worst. Or nuts. This is really annoying, actually. Honestly, as a crafting system, it's pretty frustrating. Is it the first gem that determines the shape? Is it quality based? This is a clouded gem. Lambent makes that type. It's really annoying if that's how that works. How do you make a square-shaped gem? I guess I'll just give in for 10% damage. It's like fine. I don't see how to get any other kind of gem. So armor, elemental resist, good for resisting magic and whatnot. What? I swear they handled this as confusingly as possible. What? Was only one of the slots available? Oh, those are utility sockets. Wait. Oh, shit. So I have to use the utility menu. I was like, what the fuck? I only socketed one of the 3 slots and it went away. What does that mean? So 14% mana is not the worst? Mana regen. 1 mana per second. Health regen. 10% health. Stun duration. What's health regen? Yellow and orange is health regen. I just have cloudies. 1 mana per second. Alright, we got there eventually. So this one does 10% bonus damage during the day, on top of having the highest damage of all the things and mixing with my other stuff. I'm sad I couldn't make it have more fire damage, but that's because it has the wrong shape gem. So that's what that means. So you don't craft different gems by mixing different things together. You don't craft different shapes that way. All the squares are utility slots. That's what I was missing. Okay. That threw me for a bit of a loop. My list of bonuses are getting very large. And we'll try to follow them. Alright. I love it when people can see all my mistakes that I make. Got it. Oh, then lockpick. Got it. Gem of expansion. Oh, experience bonus. Plotting. Bleed damage. Bonus health. Health regen. 1 health regen per second seems decent. No, really? My inventory's full? Ah, crap. Every gem I made took up inventory space. Oh, that. Oh, this game's a dick about inventory space, isn't it? The fact that every random consumable and gem also takes up spaces, and the game also spams as much gear as it does at you. It's a bit mean, honestly. On life and death. Right. Because I can't carry it with me. Ah, that's annoying. Can I read it from the menu? The cover of this heavily worn book bears the initials PM. Well, I had trouble loading. I was a little worried. The Memoirs of Patrick Morkan. 1 month has passed since my beloved Jane passed from this world. 1 month, and yet an eternity. I have changed so much. It began as a night like any other. We spent the evening reading by the fire, a treatise on Alfar ward magic. She, one of those romantic fictions I found so irritating, and for which I often mercilessly teased her. It was a simple night, a night the likes of which we had enjoyed hundreds of times before, a night the likes of which we thought would enjoy hundreds of times yet. And yet, it was not meant to be. Sometime in the night, peacefully, her heart gave out. She died in quiet and I awoke alone. What a moment that was for me. It was a moment of great pain and grief, and then finally, a transformation. In that moment, I was forced to confront the 32 years we had spent together. 32 years of laughter and love, of humility and quiet companionship. I loved her so much. I can see her face the day we met. I had been in Rathir, a young man still, studying for my entrance exams to the Scholia Arcana. My instructors call me gifted with regard to transformative and constructive magics. I thought I had a promising career ahead in the contemplative work of the arcane. I hoped to one day build great wonders. That day I was running late to my initiation trial, so I cut across a lawn and through an alley I had never braved before. And standing there upon the street corner, as I emerged, was the loveliest of the angels, selling flowers from a basket at her hip. She was from Emer. I would later find out. She had made the trek with an armful of irises in the hope that she might see the big city and have a taste of some adventure. I watched her momentarily, my initiation trial forgotten. Then with uncharacteristic courage, I strode forward and solicited her attention for a moment. She undoubtedly found me gangly and unimpressive in my robes, but when I drew a violet flower from her bundle and asked her name, she grew quiet. "Jane," she hesitantly whispered. I could still see her half smile, uncertain in the bright Rathir sunshine. And with a flourish, I drew my ink-stained fingers up and down the flower stem, consuming the thing in a flash of fire. My hands flew apart as flames gently wafted upward, spelling out her name. Her eyes grew bright at the silly display for which my teachers would undoubtedly scold me. And as she began to ask how the trick was done, she pointed out that I had misspelled her name. No, it'd be funny if you just fucking misspelled her name. I mean, fucking, if you see that guy, the other guy was named, like, I don't know, Eric or whatever. Something that starts with, like, an A or an E kind of name, and it was, like, a mess of extra letters. So I can't trust Jane is spelled like that. J-A-I-N-E, huh? J-A-Y-N-E? I pulled another iris from my sleeve, and this one the color of a sunset, red and gold and blue, the color of the flame itself. "Then please accept this, dear Jane." I paused, my breath shallow. "Its beauty, like yours, will never fade. In retrospect, I was a horribly romantic youth, and I never made it to my initiation trial. Do I regret the 32 years I spent with Jane? I dare not, but at the same time, I realize now that she only held me back from my full potential. Wow. For certain, I continued to pursue my arcane crafts, but alone. A tinkerer and an enthusiast and a seller of trinkets. I could never reach my full potential. In that moment, she was gone. It was as if a part of me died with her. A part, I think, that had kept me in check. A part called restraint. And what wonders I can work now. At first, my grief and my pain found outlet in the craft room, and I began to build bigger and more ambitious constructs. My spells more dangerous and more ambitious. But after only 7 days did I begin to conceive the theretofore inconceivable, that I might use the growing magic within my person to reconstruct and reanimate my fallen wife. Necromancy, my teachers would call it, among other less savory terms. It is a magic taboo, a forbidden art, an art for which I found myself aptly suited. It was, of course, the gravest of mistakes. Jane's soul is gone, her body, imbued with a force born from my very misery and solitude, may walk and talk, may breathe and blink and eat, but it is not alive. Perhaps that is as well. The magic grows within me, and reason wanes. I can feel myself slipping further each day, lost, perhaps, to my art, perhaps simply to melancholia. Boundaries are gone. Sense has fled. But at least my promise to Jane will remain now. Like the iris I gifted her that day so long ago, her beauty will never fade. Sir, is your wife a zombie downstairs? Is that what's happening right now? Is that where we're going with this? That seems not good. I need to deal with all these random... I have too much stuff in here that I need to get rid of. Probably not gonna use a bleed resist gear. Experience. That one might be good. Fire burning. Lightning, but I don't get bonus lightning. I might later. King's token. You can add that to junk? That must come up later, right? The whistle. Does the whistle take up an inventory slot forever too? Which things take up inventory slots? There's so much shit in my inventory. I don't want to be right back to it, but we gotta deal with all these extra slots again. It has to be consumables because I don't really have weapons left over. Yeah, it has to be like basically this menu. Damage boosting. Bleeding damage could be gone. Health regen potions are... I have so many that they take up extra slots now, apparently. That's rough. Bleeding. More crit. Increase your total armor by 50%. Decrease all damage received. They're not the worst, but I can't sit here and have them all in my inventory. Get rid of all of the minor stuff. Hopefully that's enough. To have this many categories of items and whatnot, that just seems like a pretty constrictive inventory size. Let's find a vendor before I deal with the basement. I also think I want to talk to him first. I might actually be able to talk to him about what I found. In fact, I would see it as a flaw if you can't. Like, if I can't confront him about what I found.
Hello. What may Durant Alagus do for you?
Shop. Sell all junk. Alright, it's half empty again, which is... will not last as long as you'd like. These are high-level items right here, aren't they? Because they are... they make my existing money pale. Yeah, requires level 16? Holy crap. That worries me. Am I getting in trouble here? Am I wandering into a high-level zone? Ooh. 125. How much is this? Only 20 grand? That's not that bad. Just a chunk of my money, but it's like a huge boost over my thing that I just put all that gem into, but whatever. It was worth it. The robes of storms bite. Ah! So 30 mana regen is just the standard for this entire item type, but it has double the defense. Jeez. Its effect sucks though. 10% chance of stunning someone. I'd rather have extra elemental resistance and extra mana and mana regen. Like, those are all nice. But that armor might be worth it. Just completely undo all that gemming that I was just doing. Damn it. I'm not psyched about that thought. Oh, it's super expensive, so never mind, actually. But at some point... Yeah, oh god, the gear in this area is very high level. Is this all the stuff I just sold to him, maybe? No, that's what I sold to him. More lockpicks doesn't hurt. Okay, so yeah, this guy sells what I need if I ever need to get upgrades with my money. I know where to take my money. And maybe it'll RNG new items periodically or something, depending on how this game handles items. 'Cause I didn't love those stats. Definitely makes me worry I might be wandering into an area where people will fucking destroy me, though.
Yes?
So I might get rebuffed.
You return. How may I be of help?
Andrian.
Between the Tuatha invading in the east and the bandits marauding in the west, it seems that death is making a home of Kandrian.
Patrick Morkan.
You wish to know of me? I once owned a shop where I sold trinkets to passers-by. Then my wife was taken. Now I spend my days in the Raven, watching people, waiting to die. So good of you to stop by.
Okay, sir, what am I about to find in your basement? So you can't bring it up. Picking up the journal does not seem to include a quest trigger. That always bothers me a bit when you pick up any kind of document that has a revelation and then you can't talk to the person tied to the quest, tied to that revelation about it, whether it's a good idea or not. There was a big case of that in Fallout 4 where I read on a computer. I read important stuff about some late game characters and factions, and then I couldn't talk to any of them about the shit, and it was kind of a big deal. And it's like, I need the proper key. That was like a moment where the lack of that kind of interaction kind of broke the whole game for me a bit, although it was already on relatively shaky terms, you might imagine, if that was really a problem at that point. No. Nope, it's actually dead end for now. That's interesting. That probably means something else then. Let's head up north. So now I'm thinking it's locked because it's a plot barrier, which probably means that as I continue forward through this storyline, it's going to lead there. I think we're going to be in that basement before long. Hey buddies, don't mind me. Nope. Ow. Oh, that was them throwing bombs. So that one time it happened before, I swear it looked like it fell from the sky when it happened in that transition between other zones elsewhere. Holy shit, they're accurate. They are shockingly accurate with those attacks. This area is rather trap-filled. Oop, and looks like some of them worked. Because that is a lot of blood. See ya. Ow! Ow! Jesus Christ! My pain. We'll see if they chase me successfully or not. Because if they don't, I don't see much reason to fight them all. It's a lot of enemies. I don't need that. You can take your padding and shove it up your ass. Which I imagine looks somewhat like this very long, curving tunnel that I'm running through. Oh. Am I running through a diagram of your ass? Cavernous as it may be. Holy shit, this is a long cave. You're welcome, audience, for not fighting through it. It's my gift to you to slightly make up for how much inventory management there's been this episode. This is worrying.
What's the Engar doing sending a neophyte to rescue me? Doesn't he understand what's going on here? There is a necromancer in Mel Aglir.
Well, if you had gotten the word out, maybe they would know about that. You're the one that went missing.
Look around you. Patrick Morkan's wife may have died from natural causes, but nothing natural brought her back. I know because I've been watching her walking corpse feast on prisoners for over a week. She and her husband are nearby. If you strike quickly, you can catch them by surprise and end this horror.
Why are you still alive? If, like, it seems like there's no good reason to keep you alive. Also, why aren't you using any magic to escape or something? They disable your magic somehow? It doesn't seem like we need items to cast nearby.
Yes, I'm not certain which is more torturous, having to watch Patrick Morkan feed villagers to his dead wife, or the way he caresses her cheek as he wipes the blood from her chin. Oof.
He even acknowledges that it's not his wife, really, but he's still willing to kill for her. Leave it to me.
As threatening as his dead wife may seem, kill the sorcerer first. Once the master is destroyed, the magic that animates her corpse will dissipate. She's just an automaton, after all. We both know there isn't a magic that can bring the dead back to life. I'll see to getting out of this cell. With you distracting them, I should be able to escape. I'll see you at the Raven when this is done.
That doesn't make any sense. I should be able to escape if you distract them. Why haven't you escaped in the last week? She's an automaton that doesn't think for herself, seemingly. And he's at the bar. Why haven't you just escaped? What? That doesn't make, whatever. That does not make any sense. The answer to why hasn't she escaped was, like, anti-answered, essentially. Like, because she's like, I'm going to escape now. Why haven't you been doing anything about the situation? Seems like you could have. Right, I'm walking into a boss fight. You know what that means? Save.
This isn't what it looks like. Oh, fine. I'll admit it. I tried to bring her back from the grave. Is it really so hard to understand? Have you never been in love? I'll say one thing. Your timing is impeccable. I think she's hungry, and you'll make quite the feast. So good of you to
I read your diary. Here's my dead wife. Uh-oh. Oh, he's inside of his bubble. Ow. Ow. Stop it. God damn it. And they really do just spam spells at some point. It can be really hard to fight a magician in that situation. The wife's not even helping. Give her a sword all you want. She can't really do much in this situation, can she? How does she have a longbow on her loot? Because yeah, it's random. Random items. But you're like, she has one defining item. Wow, I wonder if I'm gonna pick up that defining item from her. Nope. Alright, no, I need to add potions to the list of things that I don't pick up willy-nilly, along with everything else. Because I don't want to constantly have to re-empty that from my inventory as well. Oh, chemical lab. What an opportunity to fill my inventory with more potions. Makes me not want to use my crafting skills as much because I don't want to constantly, like, make inventory clutter that the game will punish me for having. Yeah, the irony. It turns out I'm coming out of that cave, which I more or less realized the moment she said that he was going to be nearby. I'm like, oh, that's the exit to the cave is the trapdoor I saw. Go figure. He really should have chosen some kind of cave that didn't have an alternate entrance. And also a billion kobolds, apparently. What if they killed your wife?
After all this, I'm grateful to be alive. And uneaten. It was lucky that you showed up when you did. I must say, I'm impressed, neophyte. Few of your rank would be able to handle a necromancer of Morkan's power. I will remain behind to tend to the village. You should report to Savant Engar as quickly as you can. Goodbye, then.
Does that mean I get to be a different rank now? Because I deserve it? Because I'm so strong and too good to be a neophyte? Yeah, they totally, like usual, every single organization is sending people on missions that would kill them. And true to form, they were sending me on a suicide mission that I should have died on, just like how I should have died on the opening missions of all the other covenants so far. It's like they're even saying like, oh, a neophyte shouldn't have been able to succeed here. But I'm just so strong. Once again, they're sending me way off in the distance. But once I've been there, at least I can travel there quickly in the future. I am on the same Covenant's quest, right? Yeah. It just, instead of backtracking, it wants me to go forward into a new zone again. Okay. Let's dance, sod! Am I about to turn the corner and see whoever's saying that? What is that? What is that? Stop it! I guess you can sod off because you're grass. Wow. Why is that? Oh, it's green because of a piece of equipment that's making that level, huh? Must be. I am literally leveling persuasion more frequently than the game lets me use persuasion, I'm realizing. It does cap out at that level as expected. Is it better to upgrade Smolder or Mark of Flame? Well, I do think that it's going to, yeah, old burning damage increased. I think that applies to my weapon. I hope it applies to my weapon, or I'm gonna feel really silly. Not that I know how reasonably I can confirm that, but I have a lot of burning damage on this weapon. So if that just got increased by 80%, then I should be pretty strong right about now. But I'm constantly going to new locations and fighting new dudes and so on and so forth, so... And I'm not like actively tracking the numbers that pop up in the combat, so I don't really know for sure. And I won't. So womp womp. But generally speaking, if I just throw the points at the abilities that I actually use, then it's hard to say that they're misspent. But I'm just gonna be a little, like, just a tad disappointed every level until I get to start buying more upgrades for the thunder attack when I get to the next tier. Just gotta reach that point. Ow! Leave me alone. They've got ranged attacks. The worst kind, because I can't just run past them until I do, which I did. The end. You look like you're gonna interrupt me when I walk by, or is that would be what's gonna be you? Nope. What is this dude? Look at this bull thing. It's all armored. We're dancing now? Everyone watching her dance. By everyone, I mean 2 people. It's not exactly a crowd.
Feels good to have my feet on land.
I guess he's not used to having his feet on land. Or was not on that until recently. We are in, it just looks like a boat place. New town. Seems like a major one. A prayer for our troops. Guamachi, it's just too expensive. There's just random crowd chatter playing and subtitles are showing up. That seems like that seems like an unreasonable way to build a tower with a whole separate tower being held up by stilts sticking out of the side. Why would you build it like this? Why don't build it like that? It seems like a bad plan. Just don't do that. Frankly, whenever I see a building that looks like any variation similar to that, I'm just terrified of the idea of like, you want me to go in that building? No. I never want to be in that part of the building. I hate that idea. This place is fucking huge. This must be like the equivalent of like the town in the middle of Cyrodiil. The city. It just goes. Welcome. Well, yeah, I guess you don't have to question who runs this place. That was a lot of loading gates to get this far. There's a whole lot going on here.
Good day.
We have not dealt with any place on this scale before. Usually it's a surprise when I have to do a loading gate at all on the way in. Besides the door to a house.
Yes?
Yeah, Ethan, that was the name I was thinking of earlier, where I'm like, really? It's spelled that way?
So, a necromancer was behind Melaglir's disappearing villagers. Disturbing. My suspicions regarding your potential were well founded. You are forthwith promoted to the rank of docent. As a docent, your first order of business is to the west, to speak with a man named Anchor Edmure.
Not gonna lie, we kept going deeper and deeper and deeper, and it was hyping it up like, look at this massive sprawling town and how many loading gates it gets to this crazy throne room. This guy must be you must be talking to somebody really important. And then I remember, oh wait, I'm just talking to the guy from earlier, the one that seemed kind of doofy and like absent-minded and not that knowledgeable. And it's like, haha, I run the world. It's like, I guess that checks out. Tell me about my next task.
You are to liaise with a man named Anchor Edmure, a rather enthusiastic sagecrafter from the village of Emir to the west. He often sends reports of mystical occurrences that usually turn out to be exaggerated tales of inebriated fever dreams. His latest cry for help, however, may hold some truth. Go to Emir, speak to the man, and find out what he means by Shardfall has come alive. Be well.
His latest cry for help may hold truth. You cannot fast travel here. Do I have to go all the way back out of the entire city or just outside of this building?
Hello.
I'm a little worried. What do they sell around here? Go to the west. Yeah, I kind of figured, considering we're out of land.
If you're on any assignment for the Order, I would make sure you're properly outfitted before you start.
Whole lot more weapons. Glacial chakrams. Oh right, I bought new chakrams and I'm not wearing them yet. Gotta switch those. Got wrapped up in some other stuff. 60, man. Oh, finesse. Ew. Might. Why do you sell things that aren't for sorcerers? What are you doing to me, sir? What is this? Obtaining this item increases your inventory limit by 10. What? I can have 80. Oh, what a happy day.
Goodbye.
How many are those uniquely sold from specific characters and I have to track them all down? Because boy, would that be nice.
Good day.
Alright, can I teleport from here? No. No. I have to run all the way back out? Oh, this place sucks. Oh no, is this the HQ of this entire covenant? Do I have to run all the way through town? Every single... Come on. Yes, okay. Whew, the city doesn't count, but there's just a there's just a two-stage Mage Guild map. Okay. I thought I was gonna have to run all the way out of the entire map every single time. Like, that was like 4 loading screens and running every time I visit the Mage Guild capital, which would be every quest from here on out, probably. That would have driven me nuts. I'm like, I would have been like, please, sir, move back to the original spot you were in. That place was way nicer for me. Not gonna lie, the wolves freak me out a little bit because their front arm, they look like they have arms. They look like werewolves running on all legs. But oh, jeez, some nagas. My camera's losing its mind. There it goes. Oh. The wolves freak me out a little bit. They look like werewolves running on all fours instead of wolves. Like their front paws in particular look like arms. There's like something going on there. Then again, the bears look like red pandas, so you know, they're going for all sorts of things here, I guess. There we go. Let's finally remember to equip my new weapon that I bought. Ah, we're back to fire. We already had fire, but there's a better fire. That hopefully is really... So I should be getting a massive upgrade from the fact that I went from another fire weapon to a new fire weapon that's twice as strong, and also I have 80% increased burning, which is not all fire damage, but it's the damage over time caused by the burning effect, at least.
Damn refugees.
That's a lot of bonuses, all things considered. What? What? Go away. Hi, friend. No, I'm not trying to attack you. The game's suggesting I do. It's like, hey, would you like to kill this guard? Here, press up on the D-pad. No, you let an enemy chase me for a year, so I killed them. Hello, guy named Anchor, which ironically, I had to leave the coast to meet.
You're with the Scholia Arcana, are you not? I'm so very honored to make your acquaintance. I know what I wrote was vague. At first, I didn't know what I was dealing with. It's just... Shardfall. It's changed.
You have a shop. That means I must check to see if you have backpack slots. Nope, just a lot of gems. Like a lot of gems. Exceptional gem. 20% armor. So many gems. Gem of prosperity. Anyway. What do you mean changed?
Shardfall is a cave to the west and north. It's a good place to harvest shards, hence the name. The place always has a bit of a chill, but recently the cave became cold, and it howls like it's angry. Many days past, my assistant, Donald Cutty, delved into the cave to collect samples. He never returned.
The cave howls.
It's more than just wind. It's like the cave is screaming. I could almost make out the words too, but I couldn't take the cold. I had to flee.
How can I help?
I tried to find my assistant, but I failed. The cold of the cave is too great. Not 6 steps in, my boots froze to the very rock. That's why I've been devising a talisman to stay warm. The work is almost complete too. I just need one last thing. If you're willing to aid me, perhaps we can solve this mystery.
Tell me what you have in mind.
After I failed to make it deeper into Shardfall than just a few steps, I put up a barrier. No need to have some poor fool stumble in there by mistake. The barrier will let you through if you have an amulet that can keep you warm. Like one made from a Barghest's heart. A Paragon Barghest, that'll do just fine. I've heard of one ranging north of Almain. If you can kill it, fetch me its heart, and I will be able to complete my pendant. Later then.
Once again, the Barghests come up. What if, hear me out, somebody had a pair of flaming chakrams and probably didn't need this Barghest heart to solve their problems? Would you let them in then? Just feel like I can handle this on my own, honestly. I specialize exclusively in fire damage, and I'm perpetually on fire at all times, or at least, you know, kind of on fire. You know. of a manner of speaking, I am on fire. Oh look, Barghest. Oh, he's not the Barghest. Do I have to fight a different Barghest? It just straight up, it just changes mind mid-fight. It's like, you think you're hitting that guy, but you're actually gonna hit that guy. It's weird. I'll be actively pressing my joystick towards the person I'm currently fighting, and it seems to work at making me start fighting them. And then mid-combo, it'll select a different person and be like, nah, I'm gonna hit that guy. So is this like the super bar? Yeah, it's the super Barghest. The real one that actually counts. Ow. Ow. Alright, too many spiders. That's a lot of damage. Animal healed up because my my boy did his job. I don't think. Okay, is it still a beating heart? Oh God. I'm a bit alarmed that it's apparently still beating. Got it. Is this a whole other zone past this point? The Cradle of Summer, I guess so. But I don't think that's going to be the place I need to go to.
Welcome.
Because he said there was a barrier, so that must not be the same cave. Sorry? It's just hard.
Heart of a paragon Barghest. Incredibly tough creatures they are. Give me a moment. There, take it. You're better suited to plumbing the depths of Shardfall than I. You can now brave the cold to investigate exactly what's happening.
Anything else about Shardfall?
Years ago, I read a treatise from Savant Hadris Llewellyn that suggested frost magic was particularly potent there. But I never gave it much thought.
Oh.
All I really know is something dark is happening within. Be cautious. Later then.
Well, that's... Not only do I not specialize in that, I don't have it yet. I've opted not to. Maybe that means that they will be specializing in frost magic and I can melt them with fire. Nope, we actually are going to the Cradle of Summer. Damn it. Turns out I would have been best off if I kept pushing in deeper and found the, found any kind of travel points within. Though that could have backfired, because I could have gotten in there only to find that there isn't. Oh, well, that Barghest was standing up again. I could have pushed in there only to find out that there just isn't a fast travel point at all, so who knows. There's all the dead spiders again. I wonder what skills I'm going to buy when I max out. Maybe I'll just start putting points into lockpicking at that point. Just thinking what I'm going to put points into when I finish Persuasion. And and if the lock doesn't open to let me continue leveling my Dispel. Those both seem like really good solve problem buttons, which I thought that was already the case with just the Dispel, but then it became even more true when it turned out that I could do it in plot moments. That was pretty cool.
From the naked dirt sprang the Majestics, the firstborn of the wilds of Ashara. Around them, they heard the song of splendor of a once and future summer, and they responded. And the earth moved. The carver shaped, the architect built, and the shaper composed.
This area is pretty beautiful. I did a double take when I heard Ashara. I'm like, wait, I'm sorry. Is this Warcraft? There we go. The deep slumber. So there would have been a fast travel. I'm Bobo the Fool. I'm definitely getting a sense the more I run through these areas. I'm getting the Cliff Notes versions of some of these zones, and some people might be disappointed that I'm not fully experiencing the story of each individual area. At the same time, oh god. Oh god. This is a... there's definitely RPGs where I like to be completionist, and in fact it's basically most of them. But I'm thinking games the scale of like KOTOR or Vampire the Masquerade or Disco Elysium or Yakuza. Games like Elder Scrolls scale are terrifying. Where I'm like, oh, you're supposed to play this game for approximately the rest of your life. Oh, jeez. Camera? Okay. So I'm definitely getting a little sense of like, yeah, I'm skimming like crazy. I see how many exclamation points there are, and I'm a little terrified about that. And some people might be disappointed, but I'm also like, I don't know if this is the game I want to play for 200 episodes. I'm already looking to the potential of doing that one day with Pillars of Eternity 2, which is terrifyingly long. But yeah, sometimes there's a play it yourself aspect as opposed to watching a Let's Play if you want the fuller experience. Cause holy cow! Yeah, I got that experience with Morrowind too. I was like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna just kind of carve my particular path through this game and we'll see what we see. I can't. Once a game becomes so massive, it's really daunting to be like, I'm gonna talk to every NPC in the entire game, and I'm gonna learn their story intimately and solve all of their problems the way I do so many other games. Because Morrowind was terrifyingly large, and I think all of the other, and I think I remember that being the case with I remember I played Oblivion for a very long time back when it first came out. By contrast, I feel like the Fallout games, even the ones made by Bethesda, are relatively approachable. I could be wrong, but I feel like there's a relative sparseness so that when you actually do get the list of quests, it's like relatively comparable to the number of quests in a Yakuza game. The side quests, there's like 1 or 2 per map node, and there's like only so many map nodes. So it becomes a more manageable task to be like, let's experience it. Whereas this game seems to genuinely have like a few hundred quests, which is good news if that's what if you want. Oop. Yeah, I don't know. Their arms freak me out. Something's going on there. The camera does really interesting things during combat that are especially noticeable if you're running from the combat. Hi, everybody. Oh, would you guys like to turn... Here we go. Would you guys like to be my bonus XP? Oh, that's so nice of you guys. Ow. Champion of what? Being dead? Ow. Hit him. Oh my god, hit him. And then, did I one-shot him after all that? I did. There we go. Soak it up. Ah! Even when I think I'm in the clear, more mines. I have no guilt about running through these caves. This is padding at its finest. These big dungeons that have no narrative context, and you just fight a bunch of random enemies, including this guy for the 50th time. Okay, well now I wish I had saved my fate magic meter for that room, though. He's probably worth more. Like, this is like... I'll always say, like, Novaria is my, like, gold standard for RPG locations that have incorporated storytelling, and how all the side quests complement the main narrative of what's going on and improve the setting. But also, like, when you do the combat parts of Novaria in Mass Effect, it's all, like, paced in a way where you're coming in and out of narrative elements and meeting characters and so on. This game likes to have really long these dungeons. It's just a really long hallway that happens to wrap back around to where it started so that you can leave quickly when you're done. But, like, they could spawn random enemies in here, and in fact, they might be, It feels a bit like how in Fallout 4, eventually you realize the gameplay loop is just go into building, read some documents, pick up glue and stuff, fight the enemies, and the enemies are like, it's either super mutants or it's ghouls or it's bandit raiders, and it just rotates at random to the point where I think different people have played the same the same buildings in Fallout 4, and it really is different enemies because there's not necessarily even narrative context for the enemies most of the time. It's just random, like it's just spawning random dudes and giving you what's practically procedurally generated content. Donald Cuddy's ring. That's the ring of that's the guy that he left behind. But you run into a bit of a problem when you're when functionally the entire dungeon is one room. There it is. It's one room that has a quest item and one room that has a fight or an NPC interaction, whatever's about to happen. But everything else was just padding and random combat encounters that have no narrative context to them. And that's after, I'll remind you, you walk across an overland map, because the whole world is already full of random encounters. So like you don't need to fill the locations with random encounters because they're all on the way here anyway. If people want to fight them, I will gladly run past them. I
wondered when you would find me. Almost enough to make you believe in fate, isn't it? The woman I wore last time we danced wasn't as strong as this one. Perhaps I flatter myself to think I might offer a better challenge now.
I definitely should have saved a moment ago, before I walked in here. What are you doing here?
Sideus, the Crystal Weir. That is what this place was called once. Much more appropriate a name than Shardfall, don't you think? My people have lost their appreciation for language, it seems. So much has changed since I last walked the world. That was long ago, when I learned the only answers worth seeking lie in death, mortal. Death, and death alone.
I think it seems like he's supposed to constantly be in that, like, floating puppet pose, but he keeps defaulting back to his normal standing position over and over again and going back and forth. There's no need for bloodshed.
Oh, how delightful you are. Such youth, such naivete. I could just devour you, like I did that poor gem cutter I found in here. One day, perhaps I'll do just that. For now, though, I must conclude our dialogue. My time is wearing thin, and I tire of your prattle. This body has served its purpose. Let's see if you've learned any new tricks since our last meeting. Don't disappoint me.
Alright, well here's this guy, and here's my 40% or 80% increased fire damage. Enjoy. Ow. Ah, fuck. Ah. Boom! That guy exploded. Is it gonna be the... Which spell's it gonna be, buddy? Hoop! Please hit her. Oh, they're not gonna live. Oh no! Ooh, you were easier to kill than last time. My damage... despite the fact that I'm skipping all the fights, I am getting stronger faster than you are. I don't know what that means, but it's very funny. So that's bad news for you. That's interesting, yeah, I'm getting stronger faster. As long as I keep getting away with it, that just incentivizes me to skip fights all the more. I'm not gonna get punished for it. But I am a little bit disappointed whenever a Western RPG puts me in the same mindset that JRPGs often do, where I'll intentionally skip all the fights and just run all the way to the end of the dungeon and just try to get to the boss fight. And then if I really have to, I'll manually save right at the end.
If you learned what happened to my assistant, please let me know.
If I really need to, I'll manually save at the end of the dungeon and then grind off camera. Yeah, I know what happened to him, unfortunately.
Yeah, That's his ring, all right. What a shame. He had real talent and a promising future. Here, take these. I made them for Donald. To help him in his pursuits of sage crafting. But perhaps you can put them to good use.
I hate your beard. Or more, I hate your mustache. Like, it's one thing to try to go all grand with your mustache, but that mustache is physically blocking your mouth. You have to eat food at least once a day. Like, what, are you eating dry bread? Probably not. Everything else is going to be a problem. It has to go through your beard. Do you physically lift your beard with your other hand, with like your index finger and your thumb, and then eat like through the opening your hand made with your other hand? Like, how fucking awkward does that look to everyone else in the room that just sees you doing this weird hand gesture that blocks your face every time you try to eat something past your weird fucking like mustache that blocks everything? And then because the 3D model works that way, every time you talk, it like slightly opens and closes like it's a vertical like alien mouth from a Star Wars game.
Later then.
Just roasting people to their face. Oh wait, not to their face. He can't hear me, but boy, that face is a lot. Ooh, did he leave the... Where am I? Oh, this is the front gate, isn't it? Ah, you son of a bitch. I do have to run all the way up there.